Threat to physical integrity. Urbanization often leads to the physical destruction or degradation of cultural heritage sites. Construction projects like roads, buildings, and infrastructure developments can encroach on historically significant locations, eroding or completely removing them. The increased demand for space can directly threaten the preservation of ancient monuments, temples, and landmarks. Changes to traditional landscapes. As cities expand, they can dramatically alter the surrounding landscapes, sometimes at the cost of cultural heritage. Traditional landscapes that are integral to the identity of a place may be replaced by modern infrastructure, which can diminish the cultural and historical context of heritage sites. These alterations disrupt the connection between the site and the local community. Increased pollution and environmental stress. Urbanization often brings higher levels of air and water pollution, which can accelerate the decay of cultural heritage sites. Industrial activities, vehicular emissions, and increased construction can expose these sites to harmful pollutants that weaken materials such as stone, metal, and wood. This environmental stress can lead to irreversible damage over time. Loss of local traditions and practices. As urban areas grow and modernize, traditional practices associated with cultural heritage sites may be forgotten or displaced. The commercialization of these sites for tourism purposes can lead to the dilution or loss of indigenous customs, rituals, and community practices that once thrived in these locations. This cultural erosion diminishes the authenticity of the site. Overcrowding and tourism pressure. Urbanization often leads to an increase in tourism, which, while beneficial economically, can put immense pressure on cultural heritage sites. Overcrowding can cause physical wear on the site and disrupt the local culture. The influx of tourists may lead to commercialization, further distancing the site from its original cultural significance. Socioeconomic disparities and neglect. In rapidly urbanized regions, cultural heritage sites in poorer or less developed areas may be neglected or undervalued. Economic pressures may prioritize modern development over conservation efforts, leading to the abandonment or destruction of heritage sites. As cities focus on growth, the cultural heritage of marginalized communities may be overlooked. Urban sprawl and archaeological sites. Urban sprawl can threaten archaeological sites by burying or covering them under new construction. Excavations and the discovery of artifacts may be hindered by urban expansion, limiting opportunities for further archaeological study and preservation. These sites, once lost to development, may never be recovered or studied in depth. Cultural identity and memory loss. Urbanization can cause a shift in local cultural identity. As communities migrate to cities and embrace modern lifestyles, the connection to historical sites may fade. This disconnect can lead to a loss of cultural memory, as younger generations may not fully appreciate or understand the significance of the heritage sites in their communities. Regulation and preservation efforts. In response to the impact of urbanization, there is an increasing emphasis on regulations and preservation efforts. UNESCO and other organizations have put in place guidelines to protect cultural heritage sites in urban areas. However, the success of these efforts often depends on the local government's commitment to balancing development with conservation. Adaptive reuse of heritage sites. In some cases, urbanization can offer opportunities for the adaptive reuse of cultural heritage sites. These sites can be integrated into modern urban environments through careful restoration and repurposing. When managed effectively, such integration allows cultural heritage to coexist with urban development, preserving both the past and future.